What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and let me introduce you to the brand new iPhone 6s rose gold color option. Now this is not a new iPhone, this is an iPhone 6s clone which doesn't even exist yet. However, with this video I want to give you an idea of what the next generation iPhone 6s clone will look like. It'll offer a new rose gold color option which is currently available for the Apple Watch. Although it won't be made of gold, it will add a classy touch to the iPhone 6s lineup. So in this video I wanted to unbox and compare the latest knockoff coming straight from China, the Goophone 6s, to the current iPhone 6. And although it's not accurate in terms of internals, the look will give us an idea of what the next generation iPhone will look like. The color option will be the biggest change in terms of looks. Now last year I made a very similar video. I unboxed an iPhone 6 that was shockingly accurate. It was next to identical to the final release of the iPhone 6. This year this is no exception. It'll be the very same color option that Apple will be offering. Now Goophone 6s didn't stop at copying the design, they copied the packaging even. I mean, these guys go so far as to convince you that this is the real deal. I mean, I've heard of these things even being used to scam people because they were so similar to an iPhone 6. They didn't even stop at the packaging, they made it just as difficult to open as Apple's. That is some really crafty copying. Now inside we have not too great of an appearance for the 6s. It's covered in this little plastic baggie and it's got two screen protectors on it, one on the front, one on the back. But as far as build quality goes, wow, this thing is shockingly similar to an iPhone 6. I mean, the materials themselves feel premium, better than last year's even, and the color, I gotta say, it looks great. There probably will be a different shade in the original thing, but the color will be extremely similar. So let's go ahead and boot this guy up and see how they compare. Inside the packaging you'll find generic accessories that are very cheap, and you'll actually get that SIM tool. Apple has actually offered this in their packaging for years already, and unfortunately no Apple stickers. Now we're less than 2 months away from the official release of the iPhone 6s. Around this time, every time a year, we start receiving a whole bunch of rumors, and more accurate the closer we get to the actual release. And this year is no exception. The new color option is of course a given. However, there will be no big changes to the physical appearance. There is a chance that it could be slightly thicker than the current 6 in order to accommodate the Force Touch display, but other than that, it will look the same physically. Now last year's clone didn't even come close to the build quality and attention to detail this year's one has. Even the True Tone flash module has been changed to match the 6. Now even the heft is there. When you pick this thing up, it doesn't feel like a fake, so be careful guys. There will be a lot of fakes out there in the future. These things have a very similar build quality. It's only when you turn these guys on and start using the software that you notice all of the differences and lagginess. However, it is a mile better than last year's version. So just to give you guys an idea, here it is, and here is the iPhone 6 on the right. So this thing is pretty much running a skinned version using Apple's latest iOS 8 firmware on an Android APK. So as you can see, actually opening up applications, there's a huge delay between them. A lot of the settings are extremely similar, but there are some differences in order to accommodate for the Android version. However, I'm extremely impressed how much work was put in to making this thing replicate not only the design, but Apple's iOS system as well. Now what this clone tells us is apparently iOS 8.2 was a better firmware than 8.4, so Apple is going to ship all of the 6s's with 8.2. Now going into the app switcher, it's extremely similar. This version of the clone, it's faster, it has better internals, so everything works a little bit better. It's more fluid than last year's. The control center, it doesn't actually allow you to drag it down. It just either goes up or goes down. You can't hold and drag like you could on the iPhone. The camera is an abomination. You open it up and you get a matrix filter. So apparently this thing is either straight out of the Matrix, or there's a filter that I can turn off and disable that I couldn't find, but it's all green, and I don't know. I would recommend this to any Matrix fans. And a couple other tidbits. So the App Store is actually the Android Play Store with a different icon. Safari is replicated pretty well. It doesn't work as well though. The music application is the old one. I'm disappointed that they did an update to the latest one, but guys, this is a really interesting device. I don't even know what to make of it. Of course, it's not anywhere near even an iPhone 6's quality, let alone the 6s, but it does give us an interesting look into the color choice that will be available on the 6s. So how much does this thing cost? Well, $140, less if you buy in bulk, but would I recommend you get one? Probably not. I mean, it doesn't do very well as a phone, but as a standalone media player, sure. The only reason I would buy one of these is to show off that I have an iPhone 6s early. But guys, this is an interesting look into the future of the iPhone. The iPhone 6s is rumored to come with a whole bunch of new features such as Force Touch, better battery life. Of course, a faster LTE radio, better camera. It's going to have a lot in there. It's not a huge hardware upgrade, but it will have a lot of under-the-cover upgrades. And be sure to check out my video on the 6S rumors. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this clone, guys. Have a great day and stay tuned for any iPhone 6S news. Peace.